Have you ever felt like something is deeply wrong with the world, but you can't quite put your finger on it? Maybe you wake up, go through the motions of your day, smile when you're supposed to, nod politely in conversations, and yet, deep inside, there's this nagging feeling that you're missing something important. Like you're caught in a play, reciting lines you didn't write, while someone, or something, is quietly pulling the strings. Here's the terrifying part, you're not imagining it. There is something wrong, and you've been a willing participant in it all along. What I'm about to share with you isn't comfortable, it's not motivational, and it's not designed to make you feel good. It's meant to wake you up, because if you keep living the way you are now, you will reach the end of your life, and realize you never truly lived at all. Most people think of prisons as places with bars and guards, but the most effective prison has neither. Instead, it convinces its prisoners they are free. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a German theologian who resisted the Nazis, once wrote about a terrifying concept: stupidity as a form of evil. Not ignorance, not lack of intelligence, but a willful blindness, a surrender of one's own thinking to the collective. Bonhoeffer noticed something chilling during the rise of Hitler. Brilliant people, educated people, kind people. They weren't being forced into evil by whips or guns. They chose it, step by step, by simply going along with the crowd, until they could no longer tell right from wrong. Sound extreme? Look around you. How many of your beliefs are truly your own? How many things do you accept, about success, happiness, politics, morality, simply because everyone else seems to accept them? The modern world doesn't need walls or chains to control you. It only needs noise. A constant stream of distractions, trends, headlines, and carefully curated outrage to keep you too busy, too tired, and too entertained to question anything. Here's an uncomfortable truth. You probably don't want freedom. Oh, you think you do. Everyone says they do. But true freedom isn't comfortable. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, people don't want to hear the truth, because they don't want their illusions destroyed. And he was right. Most of us would rather live inside a pleasant lie than confront a painful truth. Why? Because truth is dangerous. It forces you to see yourself clearly, stripped of excuses. Think about the last time you told yourself a lie. It's not my fault. I'm doing fine. This is just the way life is. Each lie is like a soft, warm blanket on a cold night. Comforting. Safe. But here's the catch. Every time you choose comfort over truth, you give up a little piece of your soul. Plato illustrated this over 2,000 years ago in his famous allegory of the cave. Imagine a group of prisoners, chained since birth, forced to face a wall. Behind them is a fire, and between the fire and the prisoners are figures holding up objects, casting shadows on the wall. The prisoners have never seen the outside world. To them, these shadows are reality. Then one day, a prisoner breaks free. He turns around, sees the fire, and realizes everything he believed was a lie. At first, it's painful, blinding, confusing, but eventually, he steps outside the cave and sees the sun, the truth. Excited, he runs back to tell the others. And they mock him. They call him crazy. They even try to kill him. Why? Because it's easier to cling to the shadows you know than face the light you don't understand. We like to think we'd be the one who escapes. But statistically, you'd probably be one of the prisoners jeering, shouting, demanding that anyone who challenges your worldview be silenced. If you've ever wondered why the world seems to reward the worst kinds of people, liars, narcissists, manipulators, there's a reason for that. Niccolò Machiavelli understood it centuries ago. In The Prince, he argued that power isn't about being good or virtuous. It's about perception. It's about knowing what people want to believe and feeding them that illusion. A good leader tells you hard truths. A cunning leader tells you beautiful lies. Guess which one most people follow? The masses will always choose comfort over clarity. So the ambitious, the ruthless, the cunning, they rise to the top, while the honest are trampled beneath them. It's not fair, but it's the reality of human psychology. Think of the story of the emperor's new clothes. An emperor is fooled into believing he's wearing magnificent, invisible garments. In truth, he's naked. The townspeople see it, but no one dares to speak up, until a child blurts out the truth. Everyone laughs. The illusion shatters. Now, imagine that same story today. Do you think people would laugh and admit they were wrong? No. They'd attack the child for spreading misinformation. They'd fact-check the obvious truth. They'd ban him from social media for violating community guidelines. The illusion would remain intact, not because it's convincing, but because no one dares to challenge it. Here's what most people will never admit. The crowd makes you feel safe. When you agree with the majority, you feel protected. When you stand apart, you feel exposed, like you're standing alone on a battlefield, unarmed. But history has shown, again and again, that the majority is often dead wrong. The Nazis were once the majority. So were those who supported slavery. So were those who burned people alive for questioning the church. The crowd doesn't care about truth. It cares about survival, and it will destroy anyone who threatens its illusion of stability. So where does that leave you? Maybe you're nodding along right now, thinking, yes, other people are blind. Other people are sheep. Stop. Take a breath. This isn't about them. It's about you. Ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you held a belief so tightly that you never questioned it? When was the last time you changed your mind because you discovered you were wrong, not because it was easy, but because it was right? We all live inside cages of our own making. Some are built from fear, some from pride, some from the desperate need to belong. But the cruelest cage is the one you don't realize you're in. Here's the lie you've been living. You think you're awake. You think you see the world clearly. But the truth is, you've simply chosen a different set of shadows on the wall. Maybe you rejected one ideology only to blindly accept another. Maybe you think you're free thinking, when in reality, you've just traded one master for another. The greatest trap isn't being controlled. It's believing you're not. So what do? How do you escape a prison you can't see? You start small. You question everything, especially your own beliefs. You listen more than you speak. You resist the seductive pull of easy answers and comforting lies. Most importantly, you accept that truth isn't something you own. It's something you chase, knowing you may never fully catch it. Nietzsche once warned, "He who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster." The battle against illusion isn't fought outside of you. It's fought within you. At the end of your life, no one will care how loudly you shouted, how many followers you had, or how righteous you seem. The only question that will matter is this: did you ever truly